What's up, guys? Spec here today with my team builder from my finals battle of UNL. And in the finals, I'm going up against JRS and his team, the Infernames. And for those of you who don't know JRS, he's not on YouTube, but it's a neat little fun fact that he looks identical to Munching Orange. I like to call him the Mississippian Orange because it's uncanny. Like, you put him in a lineup and you could have 6 Munching Oranges and one of him, and you couldn't point out the one that looks different. It's really uncanny. But anyway, he's got a team consisting of a Z Magirna, Mega Latias, Victini, Snorlax, which, for the record, he's very effective at using Snorlax, so I have to be careful about it. Scrafty, Jolteon, Serperior, Aerodactyl, Slurpuff, which is always a monster to prep for, Gliscopod, and a Z Shedinja. Oh, I should have mentioned Scrafty Z also. So, looking at his team, of course, Latias is always something you have to be ready for. That thing is just very, very threatening. It should not be allowed normally, but we had an unbanned thing going on with this league in the first season. Next season we won't have Mega Latias or Blaziken, but that's on another topic, I guess. So, looking at his team here, aside from Mega Latias, look, Scrafty is something I have to be a little bit careful of. Slurpuff, of course, I have to pay some mind to. I don't think he'd bring Shedinja just because he can't really afford to put that much into his hazard control that he would have to make Shedinja viable here, so I'm not even very much worried about that at all. But, I mean, I do have some options for it regardless. And let's dive into my team here. I've got a Latios, which is max speed, of course, for his Latias, max special attack, and I've got Draco Meteor, Psyshock, Roost, and Protect. And the rest of the set looks normal until you see Protect. The reason I have Protect is because I know he likes to use Gliscopod, and Protect, what it does is it makes sure that first impression can't beat my Latios. So, potentially I could lead off Latios, or maybe he just brings his Gliscopod in on it, and he clicks first impression, I click Protect. Now Draco Meteor is going to put him in his emergency exit, so this set, just having Protect makes sure that Gliscopod, which would normally be a nuisance to Latios, is never any issue at all. Of course, Draco Meteor and Psyshock are just the moves to hit his team. I considered running Earthquake for Magirna, but I opted against it. I thought it would be better just to have that special coverage because I do have something in the back for Magirna, which I'll talk about soon enough. And my next Pokemon here is Blaziken, and I am running the Flyinium Z Protect, Flare Blitz, Mirror Move, and Shadow Claw. And of course, my point is I just want to get off a Z Mirror Move. And for those of you who don't know what Z Mirror Move does, it'll take the move last used by my opponent, and I will get a +2 attack boost and then fire back their move as a Z move. So, for example, let's say, well, I don't know, maybe Magirna, I guess. It goes for, say, Flare Cannon. I go for the Z Mirror move and I go for Twinkle Tackle on it. So, it's not, of course, it's specifically not the Pokemon this was intended for. It's just the first example that came to my mind, really. This thing with a +2 boost is very threatening against his team, but I didn't have many opportunities to run Sword Stance on this. I went with Mirror Move over fighting coverage because one of the 2 Pokemon I needed fighting coverage for was Scrafty, and I could probably catch that thing using Mirror Move. So it would have to use a fighting move on Blaziken if I wanted to stay in, and I would be able to Protect on that, and then I'd be able to use Mirror Move to use his fighting move back. So that's the set. Of course, I have Shadow Claw to hit Latias somewhat. It doesn't really do anything until I get the Mirror Move boost. So this set's pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it does in the game. And my next set here is going to be the Choice Banded Zero Aura, which I don't know what happened to my EVs, because I definitely put EVs on this thing. I remember going out and figuring out how much speed and everything I needed on this. I probably had 2 tabs open and closed the one that I put the EVs on it with, but this is what I had on it. And I've got Plasma Fist, of course, just a great move against his team. Also switched Knockoff to Throat Chop, and I guess Showdown just didn't save my changes. Throat Chop is just a better move to hit Latias, because of course Knockoff doesn't do anything to Megas, it doesn't get the boost and stays at 65. Have Close Combat to make sure I can hit Snorlax very hard, above all. And Volt Switch is just a pivot out if I need it. I don't know why my whole set and my nickname went away, but oh, at least we remembered it all, no problem. And my next set here is my Amoonguss. And I'm running Assault Vest Amoonguss, and this is going to be my designated answer to Magearna. I've got Clear Smog, which helps me with things like Superior and Slurpuff. I've got Stomping Tantrum just to give me my best move to hit Magearna. And I also shifted these defense EVs to attack, so Showdown is really messing up my team right now. I'm going to have to look over it more carefully after. Foul Play is just a dark move that could make Latias or Victini take a little bit of damage switching in on this thing. And Giga Drain, above all, is just the best move to hit Golisopod if I have to do that. So next up I've got my... I should probably talk about Rhydon first. That's what I'm gonna do. I've got Stealth Rock, Roar, Earthquake, and Pursuit on Rhydon. And Rhydon with Roar is just a way to make sure that Slurpuff is never a problem. Getting rocks up are very nice for me, because rocks are definitely much worse for him than they are for me, which means if he brings rocks of his own and I get up mine, he's going to have to defog them away. So potentially this is nice to phase around his team a little bit. Pursuit helps me with Victini if it ever clicks to V-Create, but I think it would definitely be a special Victini, which is why I have Latios there. I'm definitely expecting it would probably be something like AV Special Attacking, or maybe even Expert Belt Glaciate, something like that, but Latios does take Expert Belt Glaciate, so I'm fine on that front. And of course Earthquake's just a move, the best move to hit his team. It's Magearna, which is important. Jolteon puts pressure on that thing. And everything else just kind of hates being phased out by rocks. And this has a lot of opportunities to get in and get rocks up for me. But unfortunately the durability is not the greatest on this thing without any sort of recovery. So to keep the phasing alive, I've got this, which does have recovery and also has Roar. And this helps me deal with Slurpuff even better. Helps me deal with Golisopod, which I didn't have a switch in for otherwise in my first 5 Mons. I've got Spin on this, of course, just to keep rocks off my side of the field. They can be a little annoying for me, but they're definitely much worse for him. I've got the Avalanche, which is just to make sure this thing can hit Latias, which is very important. Now, Latias is a major nuisance. And I got the double Roar physically defensive because I think phasing just has a potential to be a big part of my game plan. I weaken them down, and then Zero Aura and Blaziken in particular have very good possibilities to clean up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about with my game plan here. So that's the team here. In recap, I've got to protect Latios with Draco Meteor, Psyshock, and Roost. I've got a Z Mirror move Blaziken, which is Lonely Nature. I've got a Choice Banded Zero Aura. I've got an Assault Vest Amoonguss. I've got a physically defensive Rocks Pursuit Rhydon. And I've got my Avalugg here, the coffee table with Rapid Spin, Recover, Roar, and Avalanche. So if you see this video, then the battle video is going to either have been up or it's coming out soon. I definitely encourage you guys to stick around and see that. And I want to thank you for watching, and have yourselves a good night.